Have you ever felt invisible? Like no matter how much you give, your efforts are met with indifference or even subtle rejection. It's a quiet pain, one that makes you question your worth, your choices, and sometimes even yourself. Why do some people treat us this way? Is it something about us, or is it them? The truth is, their behavior often has little to do with you and everything to do with them, but letting their actions chip away at your peace, that's a choice you can reclaim. Enter Stoicism, a philosophy of inner strength, clarity, and self-mastery. It doesn't just teach you how to endure, it shows you how to thrive, no matter how thorny the world may seem. In this article, we'll uncover 6 revealing behaviors of people who don't care about you and explore how the wisdom of Stoicism can help you rise above them. By the end, you'll gain practical tools to guard your peace, set unshakable boundaries, and free yourself from their influence, once and for all. If this resonates with you, hit subscribe now to join a journey of resilience and wisdom. Your emotional freedom starts here. Are you ready? 1. Manipulating your emotions for control. Emotional manipulation is one of the most subtle yet damaging behaviors you may encounter in relationships. People who don't truly care about you often use this tactic to control your decisions, distort your sense of worth, and keep you emotionally tethered to their desires. It often manifests through guilt-inducing phrases like, "If you loved me, you would do this for me," or manipulative apologies such as, "You've disappointed me, but I'll forgive you this time." These words are not just designed to make you feel inadequate. They create a sense of obligation that overrides your true thoughts and emotions. Over time, these tactics can make you question your own boundaries and values, leaving you trapped in a cycle of emotional dependency. According to Stoic philosophy, manipulation is not about what someone does to you, but how you choose to respond to it. As Epictetus wisely said, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. The key lies in recognizing that no one can control your emotions unless you allow it. When someone attempts to manipulate you, they are not demonstrating strength or superiority, but rather revealing their own insecurities and need for control. The Stoics teach us that true power lies in mastering our own reactions and maintaining inner peace, regardless of external provocations. A powerful example of overcoming emotional manipulation is seen in the life of Oprah Winfrey. During her childhood, Oprah faced emotional manipulation and abuse within her own family. Rather than succumbing to the toxic dynamics, she chose to reclaim her narrative and focus on her growth. Oprah transformed her wounds into a source of strength, using her experiences to fuel her empathy and inspire millions worldwide. She famously said, "I trust that everything happens for a reason, even when we're not wise enough to see it." This perspective mirrors the Stoic belief that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and resilience. To protect yourself from manipulation, the first step is awareness. Pay attention to patterns of behavior that consistently make you feel guilty, anxious, or unworthy. Ask yourself whether the person's actions align with your values or are designed to undermine your confidence. Recognizing manipulation is not always easy, as it often comes disguised as concern or love. However, the moment you identify it, you take the first step toward breaking free from its grip. The next step is setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they are about saying yes to yourself. By articulating your limits firmly and respectfully, you communicate that your emotions are not open for exploitation. Boundaries are a form of self-respect and a reminder to others that your worth does not depend on their approval. Lastly, grounding practices like meditation or journaling can help you maintain emotional stability. Meditation allows you to observe your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, while journaling helps you process and understand your thoughts more deeply. For example, writing about a recent encounter where you felt manipulated can help you dissect the situation objectively, identify the tactics used, and reflect on how you can respond differently next time. It's also essential to remember that compassion, even for those who manipulate, is a core Stoic principle. Compassion does not mean accepting or excusing harmful behavior, but rather understanding that manipulation often stems from the other person's own fears, insecurities, or unmet needs. By approaching the situation with clarity and composure, you protect your peace without succumbing to resentment or anger. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its emphasis on inner freedom. When you master your emotions, you reclaim your power. You no longer feel the need to conform to someone else's expectations or approval, and you stop allowing their actions to dictate your happiness. Instead, you cultivate an unshakable sense of self-worth, rooted in your ability to think and act in alignment with your values. Manipulation may seem like an insurmountable challenge, but the truth is, you hold the key to breaking free. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you choose to focus on what you can control, your reactions, your boundaries, and your mindset, you free yourself from the emotional games others play. Have you ever encountered someone who manipulated your emotions? How did you handle it? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else to take the first step toward emotional freedom. And if you found this insight valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic lessons that empower you to reclaim your peace. Your journey to inner strength begins now. 2. Ignoring or dismissing your struggles. Have you ever faced a difficult moment only to have someone brush it off with words like, "It's not that big of a deal," or "You'll be fine, just move on"? The sting of such dismissal can leave a profound mark, making you feel unseen, unheard, and utterly alone. When someone diminishes your struggles, it's as though they're denying your reality, leaving you to grapple with your pain in isolation. It's easy to internalize this behavior and start doubting the validity of your emotions, but the truth is, your struggles are real and your feelings matter. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful framework to navigate such experiences. As Seneca wisely observed, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. This isn't to say that your pain isn't real, but rather that how we interpret and internalize the reactions of others can often magnify our suffering. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control how others perceive or respond to our challenges, we can control how we perceive and respond to their dismissiveness. The lack of understanding from others does not diminish the value of your experiences or the strength it takes to endure them. Instead, their indifference reveals their limitations, not yours. Consider the journey of J.K. Rowling, the author of the globally beloved Harry Potter series. Before achieving monumental success, Rowling faced rejection after rejection from publishers who failed to see the potential in her work. Struggling as a single mother with limited resources, she was told that her ideas weren't good enough and that her efforts were unlikely to amount to anything. Imagine the weight of those dismissals, her dreams being casually discounted by people who couldn't see her vision. Yet Rowling didn't let their lack of belief define her. She persisted, trusting in her story and her ability to bring it to life. Today, Harry Potter is not just a book series. It's a cultural phenomenon that has inspired millions worldwide. Rowling's story is a testament to the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, your effort, your belief, and your resilience, rather than the opinions of others. If you find yourself in similar situations, the first step is to validate your own pain. Often, the dismissal of our struggles by others leads us to minimize or invalidate them ourselves. This can be incredibly harmful, as it prevents us from fully processing our emotions and finding constructive ways to move forward. Acknowledge your challenges and give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Your struggles are part of your journey, and they hold value, even if others fail to recognize them. The second step is to build a support system of people who truly understand and empathize with you. While it can be disheartening when some people dismiss your struggles, there are always others who are willing to listen and support you. Seek out friends, family, mentors, or even support groups who can offer understanding and encouragement. Surrounding yourself with people who respect your experiences not only helps you feel less alone, but also reinforces your belief in your own worth and resilience. Moreover, practicing gratitude for the people who do show up for you can shift your focus from those who dismiss you to those who uplift you. For instance, instead of dwelling on someone who ignored your difficulties, take a moment to appreciate the friend who checked in on you, the colleague who offered to help, or even the stranger who showed kindness. This mental shift aligns with the Stoic idea of focusing on what you can control, your thoughts and actions, rather than wasting energy on what you cannot change. It's also helpful to reframe dismissive behavior as an opportunity to strengthen your independence. When others fail to validate your struggles, you have a chance to cultivate self-reliance and resilience. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or deny the value of connection, but rather that you can find strength in knowing that your worth isn't tied to external validation. By learning to stand firm in the face of indifference, you develop a deeper sense of inner peace and confidence, qualities that no one can take away from you. As you reflect on these ideas, ask yourself, what's one way I can turn a dismissed struggle into a source of strength? Perhaps it's by channeling your energy into personal growth, like developing a skill, pursuing a passion, or simply proving to yourself that you are capable of overcoming obstacles. By taking proactive steps to transform your pain into power, you not only grow as an individual, but also inspire others who may be facing similar challenges. Stoicism reminds us that the actions and opinions of others are beyond our control, but our responses to them are always within our grasp. When someone dismisses your struggles, you have the choice to internalize their indifference or rise above it. Choose to rise. Choose to see your challenges as opportunities for growth, not as reflections of your worth. And remember, every great story, from J.K. Rowling to your own, has moments of doubt and dismissal. What defines the story isn't the struggle itself, but how you choose to respond to it. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. What's one struggle you faced that someone dismissed, and how did you turn it into a strength? Your story might just inspire someone else to keep going. And if you're ready to embrace resilience and live life on your terms, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more lessons rooted in Stoic wisdom. 3. Always putting themselves first. In a world where some dismiss your struggles, others take it a step further by centering every interaction around themselves, leaving little room for your feelings or needs. These individuals are often skilled at turning conversations, decisions, and relationships into opportunities to serve their interests. Imagine sharing a vulnerable moment with a friend, only for them to respond with, "That reminds me of when I went through something even worse," before monopolizing the conversation. This subtle form of selfishness might not seem overtly harmful at first, but over time it erodes trust and connection, making you feel undervalued and emotionally drained. Stoicism offers a powerful lens through which to view such behavior, reminding us that our peace does not depend on others, but on our thoughts about them. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This insight encourages us to shift our focus from the selfish actions of others to our ability to protect our inner calm. When dealing with those who always put themselves first, the key is not to match their self-centeredness, but to rise above it with clarity and purpose. Consider the story of Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of Theranos, whose relentless ambition prioritized personal success over the well-being of others. Holmes presented herself as a revolutionary figure in the healthcare industry, yet her refusal to acknowledge ethical concerns led to the downfall of her company, harming countless investors, employees, and patients. Her story serves as a cautionary tale, showing how placing personal gain above all else can not only destroy relationships, but also leave a legacy of distrust and regret. To navigate relationships with individuals who exhibit such selfish tendencies, the first step is to evaluate their impact on your life. Are they adding value, or are they consistently taking without giving? This reflection can help you determine whether the relationship is worth preserving or if it's time to set boundaries. For example, you might notice that a colleague always takes credit for group efforts, or a friend repeatedly dismisses your needs in favor of their own. Recognizing these patterns allows you to approach the situation with greater awareness and control. One way to regain balance is to shift your focus to gratitude for the people in your life who genuinely care about you. Instead of dwelling on those who drain your energy, take time to appreciate the ones who lift you up. Imagine journaling about a friend who consistently shows up for you, or a mentor who values your growth. This practice not only reinforces your sense of connection, but also aligns with Stoic principles of focusing on what truly matters. Let's bring this idea to life with a fictional yet relatable scenario. Picture Sarah, a graphic designer, collaborating with her co-worker Mark on a big project. Throughout the process, Mark constantly interrupts Sarah, insisting on his ideas while ignoring hers. When the project receives praise, Mark ensures he gets all the credit, leaving Sarah feeling invisible. Frustrated, Sarah decides to confront the situation by calmly explaining her perspective and setting clear boundaries for future collaborations. She also shifts her energy toward other team members who value her contributions, gradually restoring her confidence and peace. This fictional dialogue between Sarah and Mark illustrates the importance of taking thoughtful action without succumbing to anger. Sarah: Mark, I've noticed that during our last project, my input wasn't acknowledged and it felt discouraging. I'd like us to work more collaboratively moving forward. Mark: Oh, I didn't realize you felt that way. I'll try to be more mindful next time. Even if Mark doesn't change completely, Sarah's assertiveness empowers her to reclaim her voice while maintaining professionalism. Have you ever encountered someone like Mark in your life? Perhaps a friend, co-worker, or even a family member who always prioritized their needs above yours. How did it impact you, and what steps did you take to protect your peace? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story could inspire others to navigate similar challenges. When dealing with selfish behavior, it's crucial to remember that setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out. It means respecting yourself enough to prevent emotional exploitation. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the selfishness of others, we can choose how to respond. By focusing on self-awareness and gratitude, we reclaim the power to lead fulfilling lives, free from the weight of others' actions. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. Who in your life truly values you, and how can you nurture those connections? Surrounding yourself with people who prioritize mutual respect can transform your outlook and reinforce the idea that you deserve meaningful, reciprocal relationships. As you continue on your journey, Let Marcus Aurelius's words guide you. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This wisdom reminds us that selfish individuals don't define our worth. Instead, we have the ability to create lives filled with purpose, gratitude, and resilience. If you found this perspective helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more transformative lessons from Stoic philosophy. Let's build a community rooted in self-respect, compassion, and unwavering inner peace together. 4. Lacking empathy. As we navigate relationships with those who prioritize themselves, we often encounter another painful behavior, an absence of empathy. When people fail to acknowledge your emotions or struggles, it can feel isolating and disheartening, as though the bond you share with them has become a one-sided connection. Imagine confiding in a friend about a tough day, only for them to shrug it off with, "Everyone goes through stuff, you'll be fine." This lack of empathy isn't always intentional, but its effects can be profound, leaving you questioning your worth and feeling abandoned in your vulnerability. Stoic philosophy offers profound guidance for dealing with such indifference. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. While we cannot control the empathy or lack thereof of others, we can control how much power we give to their behavior. Stoicism teaches us to live with compassion, not as a means of seeking validation from others, but as a reflection of our own values and strength. When we choose to approach indifference with grace, we free ourselves from the emotional weight of unmet expectations. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela, who endured unimaginable hardships during his 27 years of imprisonment. The apartheid regime subjected him to systemic injustice and treated him as though his humanity was irrelevant. Yet, rather than allowing the indifference and cruelty of his captors to embitter him, Mandela chose the path of forgiveness and compassion. In his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, he writes about the importance of understanding that hatred and resentment only serve to imprison the one who feels them. Mandela's resilience and empathy not only liberated him emotionally, but also made him a beacon of hope and change for millions. Empathy, as demonstrated by Mandela, begins with acknowledging and accepting the indifference you may encounter. Pretending that it doesn't affect you or suppressing your emotions will only lead to greater internal conflict. Instead, give yourself permission to feel the hurt and process it. Write about it in a journal, meditate on the situation, or share your feelings with someone you trust. Recognizing the pain caused by others' lack of empathy is not a sign of weakness, but of self-awareness, a necessary step in moving forward. Once you've acknowledged your feelings, the next step is to practice compassion, both for yourself and for those who lack empathy. This may seem counterintuitive. Why show kindness to someone who has disregarded your emotions? But as Stoicism teaches, compassion is not about excusing poor behavior. It's about maintaining your own integrity and emotional peace. Imagine a dialogue in which you address the situation calmly. I feel like my concerns were brushed aside earlier, and that hurt. I want us to have a relationship where we both feel heard. The other person, I didn't realize I came across that way. I'll try to be more mindful. Even if the person doesn't respond with understanding, you've asserted your feelings and taken a step toward clarity in the relationship. Let's bring this idea to life with a fictional yet relatable example. Picture David, a high school teacher who's passionate about his students' growth. One day, he shares his innovative ideas with his principal, hoping to improve the school's curriculum. Instead of encouragement, the principal dismisses his suggestions, saying, "We've always done it this way. There's no need to change." Initially frustrated, David takes a step back to reflect. He realizes that his principle's indifference doesn't invalidate the value of his ideas. With renewed determination, David finds ways to implement his methods within his classroom, eventually inspiring his students and earning the respect of his peers. Have you ever faced a similar situation where someone's lack of empathy left you feeling invisible? How did you navigate those emotions and turn the experience into a source of strength? Share your story in the comments. Your insights might provide solace to someone else who feels unseen. Practicing empathy in the face of indifference also involves shifting your perspective. Ask yourself, what might be preventing this person from showing empathy? Are they overwhelmed, unaware, or dealing with their own struggles? While this doesn't excuse their behavior, it can help you approach the situation with understanding rather than frustration. This aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, your reactions and mindset. Finally, remember that empathy is a skill, not just a feeling. You can cultivate it through deliberate practice, such as actively listening to others, engaging in acts of kindness, and even extending compassion to yourself. When you prioritize empathy in your own life, you create a ripple effect that can inspire those around you to do the same. As you reflect on the power of empathy, consider this question. What's one way you practice empathy even when others lack it? Your answer could serve as a guiding light for someone else seeking to navigate a similar challenge. If you found this perspective valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic lessons that empower and inspire. Together, let's build a community rooted in compassion, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of inner peace. Your journey toward a life of purpose begins with every act of kindness, both to yourself and to others. 5. Constant criticism or judgment. Building on the absence of empathy, another equally draining behavior is constant criticism or judgment. These individuals seem to take pleasure in pointing out your flaws, often offering no constructive feedback to help you improve. Instead, their remarks serve as a reminder of their disapproval, leaving you questioning your abilities, choices, and even your worth. Imagine confiding in a friend about a creative project you're passionate about, only to hear, "It's okay, but it could have been better if you had done it my way." Such criticism doesn't uplift, it undermines. Over time, it chips away at your confidence, making you second-guess your every move. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful antidote to the effects of this behavior. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This profound statement reminds us to shift our focus from external opinions to internal growth. Instead of engaging with those who judge you unfairly, Stoicism encourages you to channel that energy into self-improvement, ensuring that your actions align with your values rather than their expectations. Consider the journey of Lady Gaga, an artist known not only for her bold creativity, but also for her resilience in the face of relentless criticism. Early in her career, critics dismissed her unique style and questioned her authenticity. Later, when she opened up about her struggles with mental health, some labeled her as overly dramatic or seeking attention. But instead of letting these judgments define her, Gaga turned inward. She embraced her truth, using her platform to advocate for mental health awareness and inspire others to accept themselves unapologetically. Her words, "You have to be unique and different and shine in your own way," echo the Stoic principle of living authentically despite external noise. In your own life, recognizing the difference between constructive criticism and baseless judgment is the first step toward breaking free from the weight of negativity. Constructive criticism, even when difficult to hear, comes from a place of care and offers actionable insights to help you grow. For instance, A mentor might suggest ways to improve your work while still acknowledging your strengths. On the other hand, baseless judgment serves no purpose but to diminish you. Comments like, "You're not good enough," or "Why would anyone care about your ideas?" are reflective of the critic's insecurities, not your worth. A fictional example can illustrate this further. Imagine Anna, a young entrepreneur who's poured her heart into launching a sustainable clothing brand. During a pitch to potential investors, one attendee dismissively remarks, "This is just a trend. Your idea won't last." Initially shaken, Anna takes a moment to reflect on the feedback. She realizes that while the comment lacks substance, it highlights the need to better communicate her vision and long-term strategy. Instead of dwelling on the negativity, Anna refines her pitch, ultimately securing the support of investors who believe in her mission. This fictional dialogue shows the power of reframing criticism. Investor: "I don't see this lasting more than a year." Anna: "I appreciate your perspective. Let me share how we plan to ensure longevity and adapt to market changes." Have you ever faced a situation like Anna's, where someone's judgment seemed more destructive than helpful? How did you respond? Share your story in the comments. It could inspire someone who's navigating similar challenges. The second step to overcoming constant criticism is to focus on your personal values and growth. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What truly matters to me? By anchoring yourself in your core beliefs, you create a strong foundation that external judgment cannot shake. For example, if you value creativity, remind yourself that innovation often invites skepticism, but that doesn't diminish its importance. If you value integrity, let it guide your actions, knowing that living authentically is more fulfilling than seeking approval. Stoicism also teaches us to view criticism as a mirror, reflecting either our areas for improvement or the insecurities of others. When approached with this mindset, even the harshest remarks lose their sting. Instead of reacting defensively, you can calmly assess whether the feedback holds any merit. If it does, embrace it as an opportunity to grow. If not, let it go, recognizing that it says more about the critic than it does about you. Finally, practicing gratitude can shift your perspective from negativity to positivity. Take a moment to appreciate those who genuinely support and uplift you. Perhaps it's a colleague who always celebrates your wins, or a family member who believes in your dreams. By focusing on these meaningful connections, you remind yourself that the voices of those who care far outweigh the noise of baseless criticism. As you reflect on these ideas, consider this question. How do you deal with unfair criticism in your life? Your answer might provide valuable insight to someone else struggling to navigate similar situations. If this perspective resonates with you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe for more lessons rooted in Stoic wisdom. Together, we can build a community that thrives on resilience, self-respect, and authenticity. Let Lady Gaga's words inspire you to shine in your own way, regardless of what the world has to say. Your journey is yours alone, and no critic can diminish the light you bring to it. 6. Exploiting your kindness. As we move from the emotional toll of indifference to the damaging effects of constant criticism, another insidious behavior comes into focus: exploiting your kindness. There's a unique pain in realizing that your genuine care and generosity are being taken advantage of, not because someone values you, but because they see you as a means to an end. Imagine a colleague constantly asking for your help on projects, never reciprocating or even acknowledging your efforts. Or a friend who only calls when they need something, disappearing when you're in need. This exploitation can make you question the very nature of kindness, leaving you torn between wanting to help and feeling emotionally drained. Stoic philosophy offers clarity and strength in such situations. Seneca's timeless words, "He who is brave is free," remind us that true freedom lies in courageously standing up for our values and setting boundaries. Stoicism teaches that kindness is not weakness. It is a conscious choice made by the strong. However, kindness without boundaries can quickly become a tool for exploitation. Recognizing this distinction allows us to maintain our integrity without compromising our well-being. Modern relationships are rife with examples of kindness being exploited. Consider the dynamics of unhealthy friendships or professional relationships where one party constantly gives while the other takes. A common scenario involves a well-meaning employee who always stays late to help teammates, only to realize their efforts are unappreciated and taken for granted. In romantic relationships, one partner might exploit the other's love and trust, manipulating their kindness to avoid accountability or gain undue advantage. A relatable story could involve Mia, a graphic designer who regularly helps her co-worker Alex meet tight deadlines. Alex often compliments Mia's talent, but his gratitude stops there. He never offers to return the favor or even acknowledge her extra effort in team meetings. One day, Mia overhears Alex joking with another co-worker about how easy it is to get Mia to do the hard stuff. Hurt and disillusioned, she decides to address the situation. Mia, "Alex, I've noticed that while I'm always happy to help, the workload isn't distributed equally. Moving forward, I'd appreciate more collaboration." Alex, "Oh, I didn't mean to take advantage. I guess I've been too focused on my own tasks." Whether Alex changes his behavior or not, Mia's courage in setting boundaries empowers her to reclaim her time and energy. Have you ever been in Mia's shoes, where someone exploited your kindness without reciprocating? How did you handle it? Share your story in the comments. Your insights could inspire someone to take their first steps towards setting healthy boundaries. When faced with exploitation, the first step is to recognize it for what it is. Often we justify others' behavior, telling ourselves they didn't mean to, or that it's just how they are. But denying the reality of exploitation only prolongs the harm. Take a moment to reflect on your interactions. Are you consistently giving more than you're receiving? Do you feel drained or unappreciated after helping someone? Recognizing these patterns is crucial to addressing the issue. The next step is to set clear and firm boundaries. This doesn't mean becoming cold or unkind. It means defining what you are and aren't willing to do. For instance, if a friend frequently borrows money without repaying, calmly explain that you're no longer comfortable lending money. Boundaries protect your emotional and mental well-being, ensuring that your kindness comes from a place of strength, not obligation. Another valuable practice is to reflect on the purpose of your kindness. Ask yourself, is my kindness serving others, or is it enabling their behavior at my expense? True kindness uplifts both the giver and the receiver. If your actions leave you feeling used or resentful, it's a sign that adjustments are needed. This doesn't mean withdrawing kindness entirely, but rather directing it where it will be respected and appreciated. Stoicism also encourages us to practice kindness with wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." Let your kindness reflect your higher ambitions of integrity, balance, and mutual respect. By aligning your actions with your values, you ensure that your kindness remains a source of strength, not a weakness to be exploited. Gratitude can also help shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on those who take advantage of you, appreciate the people in your life who genuinely value and reciprocate your kindness. Cultivate these relationships as they provide the mutual support and respect that build true connection. Finally, Practicing compassion for yourself is just as important as extending it to others. Recognize that saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you self-respecting. Every time you set a boundary, you reinforce the message that your kindness is a choice, not a requirement. As you reflect on these principles, consider this question. When was the last time you felt someone exploited your kindness? How did you respond? Sharing your experience could inspire others to take charge of their own boundaries and protect their emotional energy. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe for more insights rooted in Stoic wisdom. Let's build a community where kindness is celebrated, respected, and never exploited. Together, we can embrace the courage to live authentically, showing kindness with strength and setting boundaries with grace. Your journey toward a balanced, fulfilling life starts with every act of brave, intentional kindness. Life often places us in relationships where indifference, judgment, or exploitation challenge our emotional resilience. But as Stoic philosophy teaches, these external behaviors do not define us. Our reactions do. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. By recognizing these 6 behaviors and responding with clarity, self-respect, and compassion, you reclaim control over your inner peace. Remember, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy. It's a guide to living with courage and authenticity, no matter how others choose to act. Whether it's setting boundaries, practicing gratitude, or cultivating empathy, each step you take strengthens your ability to thrive in a world that may not always value your kindness. Now it's your turn. When have you encountered someone who didn't care about you, and how did you rise above their behavior? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might inspire others to take their first step toward emotional freedom. If you found this video valuable, like it, share it with someone who needs this wisdom, and subscribe for more lessons rooted in Stoic principles. Together, we can build a community of resilience and purpose. And as you go forward, keep this challenge in mind. What would happen if, starting today, you stopped letting others control your peace and started living for yourself? Let that thought guide you to a life of strength, freedom, and fulfillment.